Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So even though I'm late, I'm going to do the mid-year book freakout tag because I think it's like a good summary of the whole year. I have to say I haven't found like that many books that I love this year, so a bit sad, but let's just get started with the questions. So the first one is the best book you've read so far this year, and because I haven't read Speaking Bones yet, for now it's going to be Kingdoms of Death by Christopher Ruocchio. This is book 4 in the Sanity series, and this series just keeps getting better and better, which is each book. Like, I already thought that Demon in White was fucking sublime because it had like so many different elements, like so many different subgenres of science fiction, but this one is just super good, like super good. These are like quite of chunkers, like almost 500 pages, and I still read it so fast and I still love it so much. Like, this story it's just so good. I just love how we're just getting more and more of the CL scene, and I just cannot help but loving it because I just love when we explore the other race, like the alien race. It is just so good, and I love the contrast within the Hadrian in this book and in book 1 when he's a fucking child. Amazing. I just love this sequel so much. Then the best sequel that I've read so far, for this I'm going to go with An End to Sorrow by Michael R. Fletcher. This is the last book in the Obsidian Path trilogy, and I really like this trilogy. Wasn't a huge fan on book 2, but this book, it ended up so well. Like, it just like got everything right. It was such a good ending. I don't know. The other sequel that I think could be in a contestant is Kingdoms of Death, and because I have already chosen that one, I'm sticking with An End to Sorrow because it's so good. This is a dark fantasy. I will highly recommend the first book to anyone who really likes like this grimy, filled with necromancy type of story. I just really liked it in general. I highly recommend it. So yeah, best sequel I've read this year by far. So, third question, new releases that you haven't read yet. Well, a lot of them. Speaking Bones, for example, I'm just not going to pick it because it's out there and I hate what they have done with the spine. So I'm trying not to look at it too much. I actually have it separated from this stack because I just fucking hate it. But I still haven't read it, though I think it's going to be probably my favorite book of the year, but we'll see. Another one that I really want to read, In the Shadow of Lightning by Brian McClellan, which is the author of one of my favorite trilogies, the Powder and Witch trilogy. I also really like the second trilogy, but the first one is just my favorite one. And I'm really excited to read this one. I just still haven't found the time because between being sick and SPFFC, I just couldn't, but I'm just very excited to read it right now. Another book that I really want to read, Sons of Darkness, which that cover, it's just beautiful, but this is a dark fantasy, a Hindu dark fantasy also, like Upon a Burning Throne. So I just really want to read this one. I got an arc of it. I still haven't read it, even though it came out last month, but I requested it like 3 days before release, so I'm fine. But yeah, I just really want to read this one. I think I'm going to propose this one again for the Dark Fantasy Book Club, because I just really want to read it. But yeah, it sounds so good and I just really want to get this one like physically. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So for this, no questions asked, like Babel by R.F. Kuang. I'm just so hyped for this book. This is Dark Academia. I just want to read this one, and I cannot request it in NetGalley, on my NetGalley, because it's not available. It's just like a wish. I fucking hate that. Thank God it's coming out soon because I just really want to read this one. Literally, the moment I read this, I was just like, Babel. That's it. I just don't have any other books that I really want to read besides that. Probably there's another one of my favorite series coming out soon. Technically, book 4 of the Arcane Ascension should be coming out later this year. Not 100% confirmed, but I do really hope so. But yeah, I just really cannot think about anything else, like something that I'm just super excited about. There's probably something like super obvious that I'm forgetting, but I'm sticking with Babel. Like, it just looks so good. There's also this sci-fi novel that is called The Sleepless, which has like my interest. So, biggest disappointment. I have two. I'm going to show you the first one because it's probably the greatest disappointment of the year. Probably will be till the end of the year. The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. Probably because of my super high expectations, and the other reviews for this book were fucking amazing, like 5 stars and nothing below 4.5, honestly. And I was just so disappointed. There were so many flaws within this fucking book. It pisses me off a little bit every time that I see it, not gonna lie, like still like hurts a bit. I have like a full review about it. I will link it up here so you can just see the why I'm talking about this book. But the only thing that redeemed this book a bit was the use of the law, basically, which was the selling point. The rest I completely disliked, and it just didn't work. Well, I also really like the main character, I do have to say. Not the one that is narrating, but the justice itself. The rest, especially Lena, the main character, which pisses me the fuck off because it has the same name as me. But she was honestly one of the most fucking annoying main characters I've read. She was like completely stupid from page 5 till almost the end. She just lost brain cells. I don't know how it happened, but she seemed fine at first and then completely bonkers. I have no fucking clue why. The love story is probably the most instant love story I've ever read in my fucking life. Like, there's no justification for this. They're teenagers. No, it ain't working, man. It ain't working. Literally, she falls in love with... I'm sorry for this rant, but I haven't complained in a long time, so I have to complain a little bit. But she literally falls in love with this guy that we only see once mentioned, and she's completely in love with him. Completely. She's just like, I'm leaving my life behind. I'm staying here and being your wife. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Why? Literally from one page to another, it's just so fucking annoying. I'm just going to stop about... I'm stopping. The other book, I'm just too lazy to grab it, but it was the Atlas 6. You know, I just love me some drama. Sometimes, like, I don't usually love love stories in general, but sometimes I just want to read about some teenage drama or young adult drama in general. Something like, I don't know, fucking Young Royals or Gossip Girl, something like that. You know, sometimes I just want that sassiness. And I was hoping to find that here. And yeah, there was drama, but literally only fucking drama. Like, for a book that is just like, oh, this is dark academia. Oh my God. We have these contestants, we have to kill one. And literally zero plot. This book has fucking zero plot. Like that line that I told you, the whole book is about that. There's absolutely nothing else. So there's literally nothing to discover throughout the whole book. And every character is just so fucking annoying. Like in so many different levels. Everyone's just like dumb as fuck too. I don't care. I gave it like 2 stars because of the drama. It got 2 stars. That's it. But the rest is just completely empty for me. Like nothing that it made, nothing that it did work for me. So I'm very sad because I had high hopes for that book. I don't know, I was just looking for something like, you know, with that sassiness, there's some dark academia. Completely let down. Also, I just read this one, Upgrade by Blake Crouch. What happened? What happened? He's one of my favorite sci-fi authors, especially like sci-fi mysteries. This was like really not bad, but bland. Literally the most meh book that I've read the whole year. What happened? Like, have any of you read this one yet? Because I was just super excited for it and I read it like the week that it came out. He's the author of one of my favorite series. What the hell happened here? For biggest surprise, I'm going to pick Raybearer by Jordan y Fuego, which I already knew it was going to be good because my friend Sophia loves this first book. It's a duology. Apparently book 2 is really bad. So I don't know if I'm going to read that one because I really like this one. Even though it's YA fantasy, I thought it was so good. Like, I really like the magic system in general. Like, everyone is connected to the king, and it's just so complex. I just really liked it. I also find it like super enjoyable. And the characters are really not that annoying. Honestly, like sometimes they are a bit dumb, but they are young. It's okay. But they are not fucking stupid. So that's a plus. But yeah, I just really like this one in general. I will highly recommend you try it. I know that some of you have, and some of you liked it more than others, which completely understandable. But I don't know. I just really liked it in general. Especially the world building and the magic system were the best parts for me. So favorite new author. This is complicated because I don't think I found like favorite authors yet, but I'm going to mention two. So because I basically have not really like made any videos like being 5 stars, I'm going to just tell you my like more recent books that I've read that I really liked, that I gave like almost 5 stars to. We're going to go with Val Neal and Yuri Goodman. I don't know, but these are like debut novels. Both of these were so good. Like, probably the best self-published books that I've read this year so far. And I've read a bunch of them this year. But I'm super in love with these 2 books. I just really like them in general. I've also added them to like my favorite self-published of all time. So definitely check these books out. Like, especially Dark Apprentice. Dark Apprentice was so good. Medea and Nikolai. Damn. But the plot in this one, like, this is stellar because of these characters, and this one is stellar because of the plot. Very different books, kind of similar vibes like dark fantasy, but I highly recommend both of these. So I'll probably just read whatever they write next, because I don't know, after this I really trust them. Newest fictional crush. I honestly have 0 like new fictional crushes, because my literally like only crush that I have right now is Lena from the Cradle series, because oh my god, I love that boy so much. Like my poor boy. And Ethan, but that's it, literally. And Yaring, yeah, probably, but that's it. I cannot think of a single character that I've like liked, kind of having a crush that I've read recently. I just cannot think about one. Newest favorite character, I'm going with Medea from Dark Apprentice. Like, I just love her so much. Like, she's so practical. I don't know, there's something about her that I just really like. Probably her love for knowledge in general really just resonates with me, but I just love her. Like, I would say Nikolai, but he's kind of a piece of shit. I still really like him though, but Medea in general is just so good. Yeah, again, just read Dark Apprentice. I will link my review here, but it's just so good. So good, and Medea is just great. Like, does she have to kill kind of her apprentices? Yeah, but she had rules about it, so it's fine. A book that made you cry. I'm strong as a rock. I haven't cried with a single book this year. Probably because I haven't read The Sword of Kaigen yet this year. But that's the only book that I think, oh, probably Speaking Bones. Fuck. Probably Speaking Bones will have me crying. Honestly, now that I think about it, probably. But yeah, for now, nothing has made me cry. I don't think, was there anything in the Bale Throne? I don't think so. Bale Throne was pretty chilled. And yeah, Wall of Storms was last year. So yeah, I'm fine. I haven't cried with anything yet. A book that made you happy. For this, I'm going with Saltbrand, which came out last year, but I read this year, by Andrew Rowe. This is book 3 in the Wielders and Weapons? No, Weapons and Wielders, which is a spin-off of the Arcane Ascension series. And these are just like fun books in general, books for you just to be happy and have a good time. And I just love them for that. Like this one in particular is just so enjoyable, makes me happy all the time. I would have chosen like anything from the Cradle, but honestly, the last 2 books didn't make me that happy. Like, they're pretty sad, honestly. They were also like very just like, let's go, but not really like that happy feeling. But I always get that with this series, so yeah, it's going with Saltbrand. Most beautiful book that you've bought this year. Sadly, I haven't really bought that many beautiful books this year, so I'm going with The Swordsman's Lament, which I think has fucking gorgeous cover, honestly, and Nettle and Bone by T.A. Kingfisher, which I read last month for the book club, and I still have to do a review about it. I will do it with the Maleficent 7. But yeah, both of these probably the best covers that I have right now. I probably have another one better, but I just cannot think about it. And the last one, books you have to read by the end of the year. I have a lot of them. So first one, The Discord of Gods by J. Lyons, which is the final book in A Chorus of Dragons, which I really have to read. But I've been loving this series less and less with each book, which has me a little bit concerned about this one, but we'll see. Illborn, which I've only heard incredible things about, is gigantic also, but this is a self-published fantasy book that I've heard nothing but praise for, so I'm just really excited to read it. Same goes with Legacy of the Brightwash, which I will be reading this month, actually. What day is today? I'm starting it today. And the last one that I have here is The Counselor, which is a political intrigue-driven fantasy book. So I'm mega excited about it. But yeah, I just really want to read this one, honestly. I might read it this month. So yeah, those were basically all the books that I wanted to talk about today. What has been your best book of the year? Please just let me know. And your biggest disappointment. I just really want to know that. So as always, just let me know down in the comments below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.